Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Basini and I'm the baking coach. Today we are going to make our Linzer Tart kit. Before we get started, want to make sure that you have certain things in the kitchen ready to go. Cookie sheets, you're going to need at least 2. The next thing you will need is a rolling pin. Make sure to have a scissor handy. With the Linzer Tarts, you're going to need a cookie cutter. If you don't have a round cookie cutter, you can use any shape you want. But if you don't have any cookie cutters at all, a glass usually has about a 3-inch opening, and this is a 3-inch in diameter cookie cutter. I saved the tops of my salad dressing, or this one here is from a vanilla extract. And what I love about these tops with the lid, they have this little hole here. So if you were cutting your dough and it got stuck, you could stick a toothpick in there and pop it out. And then it's a great little cookie cutter in disguise. So things that you have around your house can be cookie cutters too. Let's get started. First thing we're going to need is a bowl, and then I'm going to take some butter. You're going to need 2 sticks of butter. Now my butter's a little cold, and that happens from time to time. So I'm just going to pop that in the microwave for about 20 seconds just to get it a little soft. In the meantime, you're also going to need 2 eggs for this kit. And let's take out everything in the kit. Number 1, sugar, your extract, which is your number 2, number 3, which is your flour mixture. This is your number 4, which is extra flour for rolling. This is your raspberry jam for your cookies. This is a rubber band. Now this rubber band goes around the top of your bag. The opposite end of your bag is sealed so that the jam can't come out, but this just helps you position the bag when you are squeezing so that you could squeeze down here and not have to worry about anything even coming out of that bag. Here's your paper goods bag. I'm gonna open that up. You will have a glove, 2 gloves actually, and 2 half sheets of parchment paper. You could use these on your cookie sheets, or you could use one temporarily to roll your cookies out on and then use these to bake them. Or you could just use your counter, whatever these are. And finally, number 6, powdered sugar for later on. Let's put your bag over here. Just get that out of the way. First thing I'm going to do is get out my butter. It's nice and soft now. Get that into your bowl. It's very important that the butter is soft. Hard butter will just make it really hard. Even if it's a tiny bit melted, it's okay. Don't melt it all the way. It can be tricky when you do it in the microwave. The next thing I'm gonna do is get everything ready and open. The only one I'm not opening is the powdered sugar. Got my number 3 flour. I got my number 1, which is my sugar. And then my number 4, we'll open that later because we don't need the extra flour right now. Let's get the extract open. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in our sugar and then our extract and then our eggs. Never crack your egg directly into your bowl. Always crack it into something else, one at a time. Because, shells, I can see them now. And I did get a shell in here, but I wouldn't be able to see that shell later. And sometimes, you know how they say people are thin-skinned? Well, sometimes eggs are thinner skinned than others. So you go to crack them and they just fall apart. This way, if you crack them into something else, you don't have to worry about that because you're never gonna see a white shell in granulated sugar. Let's mix this up a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. It should mix fairly simple. I like using my hands, but a spatula really comes in handy. A lot of people use a hand mixer. You can during this stage, but why dirty something that you don't really need? So now I'm gonna just scrape off the extra, recycle this plastic bag and just lay my dirty spatula on there. Now I'm gonna add in my flour mixture. You could recycle this bag too and put a portion of dough in here if you wanted to. And I'm gonna throw on one of the gloves and I'm gonna just mix the dough with my hand until it forms a cookie dough. If your one hand gets tired, then you could add on a second glove. But this dough comes together really nicely and fairly quickly. As you can see, it's already shaping into cookie dough. And just by squeezing that dough with your hand. So you want to continue to work this dough together until it forms an actual cookie dough, which I'm just about there. And then you're going to divide this dough into 2 discs. So you'll divide them into 2 equal balls and then 2 discs. Place them in the refrigerator for at least 1 to 2 hours until it's firm, or put one in the fridge and put the other in the freezer. And all you need to do is wait about 20 minutes and the dough will be chill enough to roll. And then by the time you roll the first dough out and get that all ready, the second dough can be done too. You can place both of them in the freezer if you feel like you're a fast roller and you wanna get it done. So there you go. We have our cookie dough all done. Let me just move that to the side. I'm gonna bring out the other disc that I prepared prior to the show. This sat in the refrigerator. I'm gonna open it up and I'm just gonna break a piece off. I don't attempt to roll everything at once. To me, it just makes everything a little difficult. So try to work in smaller increments and that will help you. At this point, I'm gonna open up the extra flour for rolling, the number 4, and I'm gonna pour that into a little bowl, which I have right here. Now I'm gonna roll up my flour into a portion of flour into a bowl. I'm gonna set it into my bowl and I'm gonna coat it so it looks like a big donut hole. There you go. Instead of rolling everything out on the counter like a big and throwing flour all over the place, if you roll the dough in flour, then your flour goes where it needs to. Now I'm gonna roll out the cookie dough, and you want this to be a little bit on the thinner side because this is a sandwich cookie. You want it to be thinner than 1/4 of an inch because you're gonna have 2 of them and you don't wanna make it too thick. So the first cut, I'm gonna put on, I used my cookie cutter and that made a perfectly good round shape. Look at the thinness of the cookie, not too thick. Then I'm gonna, for my second one, I'm just gonna use the water glass. Because let's say I don't have the cookie cutter. And there you go. Now that makes the second one. And look at the difference. Not much. Can you tell? You can't tell. So if you don't have one, don't worry about not being able to bake. There are tons of things around your house that can work as a cookie cutter. I'm gonna roll this back up. So let's just say, for the sake of camera, we filled this tray and you can get 12 cookies on this tray. Now you need 1 solid shape and 1 hole shape. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this cap and we're gonna twist, and that will take out the center of your cookie. So what I would recommend doing is cut all of the shapes circles, make 12 of them, then take out the centers on all of them. Then make another 12. This kit makes 24 sandwich cookies using a 3-inch cookie cutter. So if you are making a larger cookie cutter, you only may get 18 cookies or 20 cookies. So on a 3-inch cookie cutter, this makes about 24 cookies. So what I would do is make all the tops so that you could recycle the dough balls and then make all of your bottoms. You would continue to cut these out. You would make 24 solid and 24 with a circle. When you bake your cookies with the circle, they take about 8 minutes and the solid shapes take about 10 minutes. And you're baking at 375 degrees. Let's take out our cookie shapes to show you. So here I have a tray of tops and then here I have a tray of bottoms, 12 tops and 12 bottoms. This is from about 1 disc of the dough. If you didn't need 24 cookies and you wanted to freeze the other half of the dough and make it later on, by all means, go right ahead. All you would need to do is stick your preserves in an airtight container and also set that in the fridge. And as long as you use it within a month, you'll be good, or just get other filling. Let us finish off a cookie. I'm gonna just fold this in half just to get a clean side of parchment. And I will show you how to do this. You can do 1 or 2 things with your top. First of all, let's get our number 6, our powdered sugar, ready. There's 2 methods of dusting the tops of your cookie. Method number 1, you do them prior to making your sandwich cookies. Now when these cookies are baked, see how light in color they are? That's the way they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to be overbaked. So this is the top of your cookie and it stays right side up. And then we are going to put some powdered sugar right on top. And you could powdered sugar these right in the tray. And then when you're done, you just move them off, okay? This is the bottom of your cookie. Turn it upside down. You want the bottom side up. And then what you're gonna do is take a gentle squeeze of raspberry filling, place it in the center. Don't go crazy, don't add too much. It's just gonna ooze out the other side. And then place on top your Linzer Tart. Okay, now you've got that delicious Linzer Tart. Now let me show you another method. Take your filling, and I'm gonna just push it around a little bit. Then we are going to add the top. This time, we'll powdered sugar after And either way works, but here's the funny part about this. There it is, and then you can just flip it over and pat it. And then it's so weird because where the jelly was, the powdered sugar falls off. And where the cookie is, it stays on. You would think the opposite happens. And then after a while, that powdered sugar just dissolves into the jelly and you don't even see it anymore. So whatever your style is, you can either powder before or after. It doesn't matter. You could use either one of those techniques. But you want to continue to, once again, flip the cookie upside down, give it a good fill. Don't go crazy. Make yourself a little bit of a border so that the jam, once the top hits, it closes it up just like that, so it doesn't ooze out the sides. That is how you make a delicious Linzer Tart cookie. Thank you so much for purchasing this kit. My name is Lisa and I'm the baking coach. To find out more information about the baking coach, log on to bakingcoach.com. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoy making your Linzer Tart cookies. Bye-bye now.